Alright, this is Calibos, and we're playing Project Ozone 3. So, I have made an expansion to my little Botania area here. As well, I went ahead and put a hopper and an ender chest here, using green dye. And then, I don't know if you can see it, but that one also has green dye. We'll go up to the top here, I guess. There, green dye. Boom. We have our petal apothecary here. This is the chest where we're putting all of the mushrooms, and look what I found. So apparently I left it in the crafting interface over there, which was not as helpful as it could be. Shimmering mushroom, shimmering mushroom, shimmering mushroom. Make sure that these are not flowers. Okay, so we're actually going to put the flowers in here. Weird. I have a dock that is not going away. There we go. So I couldn't actually see it, even though you guys could. So we'll lock that. The idea is that flowers will be going into the top, and then we'll have the petals at the bottom. I could actually automate it all the way into petals by using the open. Is it the crafty crate? Crafty crate. But I'm not sure that I care enough to do that. So we'll probably also set voids on these. No real reason, I guess, just so that stuff happens. So let's go grab some seeds. We're going to have a little rack over there for the bucket, because there's always going to need to be a bucket there. Used to be you could whatchamacallit, you could hook it up to a like something that put water in inventories. So I tried this, and this is clearly not working. So it's anything that only stacks once. You know, one makes up a stack. That's what it's having trouble detecting. Which is annoying, because that's precisely the stuff that we need to have working. So let's grab a bucket from the other side. One bucket. And then these seeds are ready to go. We have a drawer with seeds too. We'll just grab all of these seeds. Okay, sweet. Then we'll use the non-stacking ones first. So we'll put the bucket there. That will be bucket home. Bucket home. There we go. That's better. So, first things first, we need a pure daisy. So we're going to take a couple of these. We're going to go, oh, you know what? Well, whatever. It would be easier actually to have this down one. So we'll do that. So can I do this without too much trouble? Bucket, bucket. So, yeah, we'll put it there. There, and now it should still fill up. Bucket, 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 go. So we'll do this. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then drop some seeds. Pure daisy. So pure daisy is pretty good stuff. We're just going to pop it right there for now. Remember that I forgot to bring some... wait, no I didn't. Nope, I don't have any cooked stone. But we can just hop across to the stoneworks, grab some cooked stone, then hop over to Central, grab some wood. And then back to Britannia really quick. So Pure Daisy is one of the major workhorses of Britannia. Let's see if there's a Britannia questline actually. Here. So we use the floral fertilizer to make stuff. We've got this, the petal apothecary, and the Pure Daisy. Man, we are already there. So, yeah, see, it's exactly where we wanted to go with this. We wanted the orchid and the jaded amaranthus. We're going to build this first, craft that first. But we're going to need the endoflame and probably... I'm probably not going to use the Rosa Arcana. But we will make it. It is a great, very fast mana source. So, and this is Living Rock. So you saw what I did. I basically just placed some stone around. Now it doesn't have to be the same all the way around. It's any block within the area of it. So you saw I'm placing wood. You can tell that it's working by the white particles that are coming off of it. It takes exactly 1 minute to convert unless somebody tampers with the settings. So if you put cooked stone down next to it, you get living rock. And we can check, there should be a living rock, like so. Pure Daisy conversion. And this shows you put this adjacent to that, and then you'll get that. And then you get the same thing for living wood. So there are a couple of other things that Pure Daisies can convert. So any kind of wood will become living wood. Netherrack becomes cobblestone, which is pretty good depending on your pack. Soul sand becomes regular sand. Ice becomes packed ice. Blaze mesh becomes obsidian. And this can be important if you're playing in a sky block and you need to get to the nether. And then water becomes snow. So much like regular wood, you can pull this apart into planks if you need to, although there's not really a lot of uses for it once you have done so, so I recommend not doing it unless you have a recipe that calls for it. So we've now completed this quest and this quest. So at this point we need the endoflame. And endoflame is going to require brown, red, and light gray. So we're going to go brown, red, light gray. So it's going to be 2 brown, 1 of each of the reds. So we're going to say we'll do that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to go ahead and make these in the let's grab our bucket of water. Make this in here. We'll go 1, 2, 1, 2. Oop, nope. This is a good learning moment. So I'm shift right clicking to pull the last thing out, and it only pulls the last thing out. and we're going to drop the light gray. You'll notice that there's a little check mark next to it with the plus seeds underneath it. So if we add seeds, like so, dropping it, then we get the endo flame. Now if we right click with an empty hand, it repeats the last recipe. So it definitely saves time. We'll do that again. And so that gives us 3 endo flames. We will eventually need more endo flames than that, but it's a good place to start. So I'm going to keep grinding out some of this. We are going to now need to make a place to store mana. Well, first we'll make something to gather mana from the flowers. So the flowers produce mana, but they don't do anything to it. They just hold on to it unless they have something that can pull from them. So we need a mana spreader. Mana spreader. We'll need a. There it is. There we go. Mana spreader. And now we need a place to store it. That will be a mana pool. So let's go check our quest book really quick. We have a mana pool. We have a mana spreader. Sweet. So, oh, we do have one more quest we can turn in. Grab that one. So, like I said, this only takes a minute, so the conversion is actually relatively quick if you are paying attention to it. Although if you are not, you can run out of stuff very fast because you'll end up using quite a lot. We can chuck that in there for now. So let's go ahead and we'll put our mana pool down. Now there's actually a really important reason why I went ahead and, if you'll look, all of this is polished stone. All of it nearby is polished stone. Everything underneath here is polished stone. There's no just regular cooked stone anywhere around here. And that will become obvious as far as reasons in just a minute. And we are starving. Did we put the pizza away? I think we did. So let's have some of this, since it apparently never runs out. Alright. So we'll put this down, and we will actually come up with a better way for all of this to go. A better organization method, I guess. So we'll put this down, and then we're going to put mana pool. And then we'll put the mana spreader on top of there. Doesn't have to look like this. I just am doing that. So one of the things that we do need is, you'll notice the mana spreader is pointing directly up. That is less than helpful for us. So in order to interact with a lot of the stuff in Botania, we need something more like a wrench. Well, Botania does actually have a wrench-like thing. What colors do we want it? How about red versus blue? So in order to interact, we pretty much need a wand. And it is Wand of the Forest. Wand of the Forest, you'll notice it says bind mode at the bottom of the screen there. If I if I go ahead and I'm holding shift and I right click, it changes to function mode. We actually want it in bind mode, so I've switched it back. So we'll shift right click on that. You'll notice it's now got a box outline. And then we'll shift right click on that. And so the particle effects indicate that it is in fact pointed at the mana pool. And if we just hover over by looking at this with the thing, I'm not hitting any buttons right now, you'll notice that it says mana pool underneath. So that shows what's aiming at. Now, if we go ahead and place our endo flames, at this point, our endo flames are going to automatically be pointing at the mana spreader. You'll notice that it says mana spreader at the end with a green check mark, because the mana spreader was placed first. If you place this first, you don't have to break the flower. You can shift right click again while you're in bind mode. Notice you get the framework, and then you shift right click on that. And then you'll get a brief particle effect showing that everything is going where you want it to go. It'll be a little bit weird at first, but you'll figure it out pretty fast. Okay, next step from here. So these are endo flames, and we do not have fuel for them. They take an internal reservoir and turn it into mana. There are exo flames, which when they are given mana, they put the heat outward in like adjacent furnaces and stuff like that. So you can actually use charcoal to power to provide power with the endo flames through the spreader into a pool, and then put an exo flame, and then it will take some of the mana and use it to cook items. And it's actually a lot more efficient, as far as it only uses the mana necessary to cook an individual item, and it cooks it faster. So it's pretty solid. I kind of like exo flames if there aren't really a lot of other options available. So you can take any burnable, and we'll use blocks of coal in this instance. You just drop it down, and there's a little bit of a particle effect, and now you can see that they are in fact burning because they have little flames on them. If I go ahead and right click on them, they don't have anything, but you'll see the bar, and if they weren't hooked up, that bar would actually fill up with brown. But as it is, it's filling up here, and then you'll see it gets to a certain point, and then it bursts downward into the pool, which is starting to have stuff. So, next step, as far as this goes, we have two possible steps. I'm gonna, if possible, do the Jaded Amaranthus. We'll see how that goes. Jaded Amaranthus. So this is going to require a Rune of Spring, purple, green, and lime. Rune of Spring is going to require Rune of Water, Rune of Fire, around a runic altar, and then 3 saplings and a wheat. So far this looks good, like I think we can do this. So Rune of Water is going to be Mana Powder, Mana Steel, Bone Meal, Sugarcane, Fishing Rod. I think we can do that one. And then the Rune of Fire is going to be Nether Brick, Gunpowder, Nether Wart, Mana Powder, and Mana Steel. So we can do this. Now, the trick is, what is this? This is the Runic Altar. So Runic Altar is actually pretty simple. If we go ahead and snag ourselves a diamond, and we probably want to grab some other things too. Well, we can do it with, is it just a diamond? No, we can do it with mana pearls. Ooh, can we do it with friender pearls? That would be cool. Perhaps not. Let's try it though. So let's grab a stack of ender pearls. And do we have... Let's grab a friender pearl. And I'm actually going to set up some simple automation for this. Yeah, it doesn't like the friender pearls. Oh well. Guess we are gonna chuck it back. So, next step, we need a little bit of automation for this. So how about a hopper, 2 torches, 1 open crate, and a pressure plate. And the torches I'm referring to are actually redstone torches, so we'll need 2 pieces of redstone and 2 sticks. And 2, 1, 2. So let's grab enough iron for a hopper. And we want to grab a chest really quick. There's a couple here. So, living wood planks. So, as I said, you can pull living wood apart into planks, and this is an open crate. So, open crates are pretty solid. I do happen to like them. We'll go ahead and do it here. So, or this one rather. Wow, this grass actually spread really fast. Let's put our inventory full of doom. So let's put the coal in here as well. We shouldn't need too much of it. We want to use dirt. Oh, I've got 8,000 dirt in there. Cookies. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll get a pressure plate. So this is one of my common builds. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you know that I use this a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and just use living rock, because why not? So here, I'll walk you through the steps. So if something is on this, the pressure plate sends out a redstone signal, which turns off that torch. Now, the reason we use a wooden one is a wooden pressure plate is item responsive. So, for example, if I put a thing there, then it turns it off. See? No big deal. Now, we go ahead and we put down a living rock on top of the torch with a redstone torch. Now, this could be any block. Like I said, I'm just using living rock because it's convenient, it's Britannia, and why not? I do recommend not using regular stone, especially if you're going to have an orchid nearby. And in fact, we're going to want to not have our orchid near our pure daisy setup, so we'll probably move the pure daisy setup somewhere else after this. So I will usually place a random building block on top of that. Then I take the open crate, and I put it on the correct side, open crate there, so that it is directly over the pressure plate. Open crates are very cool, and that anything that you place in them, they will drop immediately below them, no drift. They are, like I said, very cool. Now we take the one of the chests, throw down for a hopper, and pop it there. Now this is important that it is directly over the redstone torch, because redstone torches, hoppers are actually redstone sensitive, so if you apply a redstone signal to them, they turn off. Now we can make use of this by, if I learn how to walk forward, taking some of our blocks of coal, just go ahead and Do that. Oops, wrong thing. Picky, picky, picky. And chucking it all in there. So what'll end up happening is, oh, you got to stay far enough away for not to pick it up. So what's going on is the open crate is dropping coal as the hopper feeds it to it. Now, because of the timing, the pressure plate only gets 2 pieces of coal before it turns off the hopper. So this will generally keep 2 pieces of coal on your on your pressure plate at all times. And so it's a pretty good setup for automating endo flames. The other option is knowing exactly how much time it takes an endo flame to burn any given item, and then setting a timer. Personally, I think this is a little bit easier, especially since if we're super excited, we can actually get a comparator, bring it off of the mana pool, and tell it that when the mana pool is full, then it sends a signal into the living rock here, which turns off the hopper. So then when the system is full, it stops feeding, it stops dropping, charcoal and fuel. So your system doesn't just like waste all of the power and fuel in your system. It's pretty solid. It's not terribly complicated to set up. I mean, this automation method minus the comparator setup, it's only what is it? 2 by 4 by 1, because it's 1 wide. It's it's 2 by 1 by 4, because there's 1 in the ground there. I'm picking it up in the. I'm like, where's all this coal going? Oh, interesting. It remembers the coal. So we're actually just gonna call it here because our timer went off, and I'm gonna let this fill up, and then we're gonna work on getting into runes so we can get the Jade Amaranthus. So I'd like to thank everybody for coming. I'm glad you did. If you liked it, leave a like. If you don't. Questions, comments, concerns can all go below. I hope you folks have a great night.